We used to have a saying, it was one game, one love, one planet.
I'm Ed Portman, former player and team owner of St. Louis Avalanche. What keeps me doing it is, I guess, that I love the sport. You know, I just love hanging out with the young kids, and they give me every bit of effort that they can to improve all the time. The team has undergone a lot of changes. We have been at the top, and it was great when we were at the top. We've gone from being a team of superstars from all over the country to a team of superstars based out of California. And right now we're a team of more or less blue-collar workers from the Midwest. So it's been a change. I like it right now. It's a lot of fun. The main reason for shifting to the Midwest from California is it allows me to be a lot closer to my players. California was always a struggle to get to practice and make sure that we were doing what we needed to. And California is kind of incestuous as far as you know, a lot of the good teams are based out of California, and they talk to each other all the time, so there's a lot of jumping around from team to team in the off season. And I really want to be with a group of guys that you know, they want to play for Avalanche. They don't want to play for anybody else. In the Midwest, you know, we found a bunch of guys like that. A lot of the kids that we picked up all came from the same team. It was an amateur team called Farside. I've been a sponsor of theirs, you know, for the past few years, and I could see that they really wanted to stay together. So we kept some of the guys from last year's squad, and you know, we got one guy back. So you know, it's the reason for moving to St. Louis is really its location. It's plus I'm from the Midwest, and I like our work ethic. I think we you know, we'll knuckle down, we'll do what we need to do, we'll practice hard, and you know, it'll pay off in the end. So. But Brandon is, you know, a superstar in his own right. He played for the world champion NXL team, the Philly Americans, when they were on top. And I've been watching Brandon as a player develop for several years now, back when he played for the Viewloader All-Stars. And we wanted to pick him up back then, but for some reason or another, we just couldn't seem to get it done. I did pick him up, and he came to Avalanche. I was just amazed at how talented he is and how fast he is, and he's a fiery kid. He's got a lot of well, besides the natural ability, he just has a lot of fire in him. He wants to win. You know, I think he's capable of helping lead us to get to that back on top. Well, Brandon's kind of more like family. He came out to Nebraska and worked with me here at Warp Sports for probably only about 6 months before he got so homesick he had to go home and get back with his girlfriend. But he is family. He lived in my house for a while, and I'd watch him and my son play paintball against each other, and they'd fight, and it was good for both of them. It was a lot of fun to watch. There just aren't many people in the world that you invite into your home and into your heart, and Brandon's one of them, and you know, he knows he's always got a place here in Kearney, Nebraska if he ever wants to come back. You know, getting Danny Tiljack back from Dynasty, who used to play for Avalanche and then made a move for a year, and we got him back. And between the two of those guys, They are the leaders on the team. They give everybody else a whole lot of confidence when they're on the field, and they both are just phenomenal players. Can't say enough about either one of them.
Listen, everybody draw your fucking guns. The whole game. Don't stop shooting your guns. Shoot your whole harness. Stay in your zones. Play smart. When the close comes down, close is a unit. Nobody goes and closes on their own. Close is one unit.
I'm like a record player. I keep going round with the needle in my arm, making someone else's sound. And lately I've been dreaming of blue and empty skies, but nothing like that ever crosses red and weary eyes. I've been traveling with bottles, working close with cans, sitting up for hours with my best friends in a van. Now they say that this ain't living, but I don't know what they mean, cause I don't feel that I baby you look a lot to me. It's the only game that I know how to play. The time to say goodbye passed us long ago, and I would say I'd rather stay my welcome, but you know I don't think I'm ever going home.
Well, we had a great game against Los Angeles IMU. They just picked up a phenomenal player in Ollie Lang, and so we knew that they were going to be a formidable team. And the game broke out. We put Eric where we knew we needed to put him, and we had a long talk with him before the game because we'd watched them. We'd scouted that team play on that field, and we knew where Ryan was going, and we knew where Ollie was going, and we told Eric, you shoot both of those guys, and we have a good chance of winning this game. Well, Eric did everything exactly the way he was supposed to, but he dropped back, which is exactly where we told him to, and he just kind of waited for Ryan to come around. He shot Ryan, he moved back up, and he shot Oliver. So I was very happy, and then he proceeded to shoot two more players. So things were going pretty well, but at the same time, we were losing players on the other side of the field, and Eric finally did get shot. He took his four with him and exited, and it came down to a 2-on-2, which, you know, quite often happens. You know, it's going to come down to back players. Back players are kind of like quarterbacks. They're closers. They finish the game, and they direct traffic out there. And we had two of our good back players in, Brock Jolliffe and Tommy O'Donnell. Tommy plays in the center, and Brock was playing on one of the wires. And on the same side of the field was Todd Adamson, who is well known for being a top back player for, you know, years and years. And Billy Saransky, another phenomenal player, and he was playing more on the other wire. Well, Tommy was playing in the middle, and he started to move down the field a little bit. Well, Todd saw that, so he kind of moved up the field into a Dorito, and you know, was trying to shoot across field towards Tommy to slow him down. Brock could see what was happening, realized that Billy wasn't really watching him as much as he probably should have been, and he went from the back corner all the way to their side of the field and traded out with Todd Adams, which was great because we needed that whole wire clean with Tommy in the middle, and Billy still had no real clue where Tommy was. It made it very easy for Tommy to move into the middle of the field and just wait for Billy to run down the wire. Billy ran down the wire, Tommy took him out, we won by one body, And I felt like it was a good game for us. It was a great experience for us. My team needed to know that they can go out there and compete with the Oliver Langs of the world.
Yeah, my name is Ron Kelborn, and I own Bushwhackers, and I own all of them, and I play on the Pro OC Bushwhackers. Bushwhackers were started in 1984, and it was started, I came out because of a work group and decided to keep on playing and started a tournament team, and then tournaments started and the ball just kept on rolling. I've been doing this for 23 years, and the reason I've done it for so long is the game is always changing. It started out in the woods and rock and cock gun to now you have machine guns on the field. And the game, even from tournament to tournament, changes. And that's what inspires me to keep on playing and inspires me to run new teams. With the Bushwhackers, the whole idea was building the farm system teams, meaning that the other pro teams and the semi-pro team and the D1s, D2 and D3 teams, the reason to do it is just for that, to replenish your teams as players leave or leave the game to go to work or to some other thing in life, or because they go to another team. And if you already know what this person's like, their travel habits, their playing habits, there's so much to building a tournament player that you just can't bring someone from another team and expect him to melt 100% into your fold. I've known Jacko and Jack Wood and Letts and all that since the late 80s, early 90s. Started playing over in Europe when I was probably one of the first ones to go over to Europe, and met up with Letts and all them and started getting hooked up with them, and at that point they were just Planet. And he started his own company and went from there, and I just kept the relationship going. We got picked up by Planet in the middle of last year. We've been with them for a year. We've actually sponsored by them while we were War Games, and for their frames for the War Games guns. And as War Games sold out, it was kind of the time for me to leave and just carried over to with Eclipse, and they're an awesome company. There's nobody better out there. They treat us tremendous. You can't ask for a better sponsor. One of the reasons Planet is, I believe, is so successful is that they truly give back to the industry. They give back to the teams. When they support a team, it's not just the support with the gear, it's the support with when you go to a tournament, when you go somewhere, they will repair, fix, help, whatever you need. Follow us around to fields with a gun tech. The complete icing, cake, everything, you get it from them. They're an amazing company. They've given us everything, and I know they do it for all their teams. Oh, machine gun. The Ego is an amazing piece of equipment. The gun is just phenomenal. I'm a guy that's back from the pump days, rock and cock and all that. For me, the amount of firepower is amazing. We were playing with cockers 2 years ago, and you know, I kept on saying, well, it's not a problem, it's not a problem. But you know, if I shoot 2 pods in an entire game, that's a lot of paint for me. And I can see the field a little bit more than most players, and my job actually on the field is just to run through and take a couple players with me. So I don't have to battle with people. But now for me to go to 5 or 6 balls a second to 22 balls a second with my old fingers, imagine what you guys could do. I got guys in the team that can shoot 26, 27 balls a second. The gun's phenomenal and it's legal. There's no upgrade board, there's no nothing, that's right out of the box.
Hey, bring it in here. Now's the time we gotta fucking pick it up, pick our heads up, play with some fucking heart. Don't get caught running through these lanes, man. You know they're just gonna fucking zone. This is a zone-up field. Play smart, dig them out, and fucking go get them, man.
Definitely. Let's go work on it! Get it up right now!
Get it up!
Play with 120% heart. This is where we gotta dig deep, guys. Dig ourselves out of the fucking hole.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wake up! Grab your bags! California's burning to the ground! Wake up! And grab your things! You and I are leaving!
very well, sir. How about yourself?
Can't complain.
It's pretty ocean out there.
Plugging away here. Yeah, trying to make some.
Oh, Brad, buddy.
I'm like, knows me.
Hey, I wanted this side. What the hell?
Legit eyes, man.
Damn it.
Damn it, that's it.
Damn it. That made me mad.
I am Jesse Lyon and I play for the Orange County Bushwhackers. This is my second time back. I went and played actually with the Bushwhackers International back in 2001. Well, the talent pool is definitely a lot larger. Ron's always been known for having a few teams, but now he has one in each division and actually two in the pro division.
Big die-hard cocker boy. And now he's seen the sight.
I put in 6 teams and they still didn't let me play.
But one of the biggest things I've seen change from the first time to the second time is just Ron himself. He used to be an angry, angry man. Very angry. He's not so, he's still got a little anger to him, but he's actually a lot more chill, and he sits down with the team and talks things out a lot better. We had a couple of guys out on injury. We were trying out some new, fresh kids, and just, for lack of better words, they just weren't ready. The experience wasn't there. And I mean, it's been like paintball's paintball, but once you start going up in those brackets, like those windows of opportunity and like what you can do, just the windows get smaller and smaller and smaller. So pro, you just can't make the mistakes. Tampa, we came back a lot stronger. We got a few of our injured players back. We picked up Matt Schuster also. Very calm, collected kid with a lot of experience, and we ended up winning 4 straight in the beginning, and all of our heads kind of got knocked out of it when we had a very controversial game. Neil Eberly didn't help that one, but he's still my friend.
I'm hoping with all the stars in the right position and everything, we'll have 3 pro teams at the end of this year. So if that works out, then we have 3 pro teams, and watch out.
There is nowhere in the world you play through the Nexus game you won't beat them. I swear to you. Yes. I swear. Down to you know this. Instead of our bleeding glasses and then right now. Stop. Who the fuck are we? Now! Who are we? Now!
Who's the leader of Nexus? I suppose the question is, now that I've left. There's only really ever been one leader, which is Robbo. He's a pretty imposing character, as everybody knows. He's the one who makes the wheels go round, the big things. He makes the big things happen. Now that I've left, some of the infrastructure's gone, and obviously the captaincy's gone. They've now got Tony Perez has come on board. He's going to give the new Nexus squad a new dimension, I think. They're going to, some American, philosophies and some outlooks on life. And as far as I know, the lads are, lapping it up at the moment. They're listening to what Tony's got to say. Putting a bit of European flavour into Tony and putting some US flavour into the rest of the guys. And it's, it was something that it was looking very, very rocky at the beginning. And in December, January, I hope we see it through. Robbo's still the leader. Tony's there as his wingman, second in command type guy.
He's like, oh my God. And he sees the ball coming, and then he backs up, plays up the back end, comes up forward, takes it with the face, and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, you just see that?
To have no good reason, to no gods and leisure, and to the confusion of our enemies. Just keep screaming out, I'm still not dead yet. 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 Right, 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 right. How many times did you shoot me, Ron? How many times did you shoot me, Ron? I'm sorry. I didn't. I shoot you. Shoot my gun, man. How can we let you?
Hi, my name is Rich Telford, and I'm captain of Team Excessive. Yeah, we're sponsored by Planet Eclipse. We're really happy to be sponsored by Planet. We started talking to those guys a couple years ago, and at that point they really didn't have a product that we could work with. But last year they came out with the Ego, and we were just blown away by how well the gun worked. The thing that we like most about Eclipse, I mean, obviously the Ego is a great gun, but the support that they give us at the events is unparalleled. I mean, we've been sponsored by all kinds of different companies, all kinds of different teams of people, but Nick Turner, Jerry, Jacko, and Jack Wood are just incredible. They take the best care of us at the events by far. A lot of people ask me how hard it is to run a team at this level. It's impossible. And I think it's kind of like in football and basketball, you don't see one team stay on top for any amount of time because you get a team to a peak, and to get that team at that peak, all the players on the team have to play as if they're better than they are, kind of surpass themselves. And when that happens, you get a little something called insanity, and the teams end up usually turning on themselves and blowing up. I think Dynasty has been the only team that's really done it consistently. I think they did it for about 3 years where they were on the top, and I'd love to be able to emulate that. I'd love to be able to stay on top for 3 to 5 years. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that or not, but that's definitely our goal. We got a good balance of guys on the team that are level-headed, good dudes. We've got a good balance of superstar ego guys, but if we can kind of, meet somewhere in between, we can probably stay on the top for a long time, but only time will tell because it's really hard. There's a lot that goes into just getting people to the tournaments, and then there's a lot of stuff going on in the backgrounds. All that stuff you have to worry about before you even worry about winning a tournament. So you got to get all that stuff taken care of, and then you got to try to win a tournament. So it's really challenging. Extensively. Basically, I tell Jack Wood the way it is. I tell him what I want, when I want, where I want it. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, we do like an outline of the features we want, like exactly what features we want, and that we really stick to. Like, we have to have this, we have to have this, we have to have this, and then we try to bring in the design elements around those features. Jack sends me a 75% finished design. I look at the design, make a few suggestions on what I'd like to see changed. He sends me another one that's 99% or 90% complete, and then he finishes it off. I've worked with a lot of guys on a lot of guns over the years, and I definitely say that Jack Wood is probably the sharpest dude I've ever worked with. He actually knows what he's talking about. Like if I tell him, hey, I want the gas confibulator to, have vibration of 22 milliseconds or whatever, he's like, oh, actually, Rich, you can't do that because of this. Most people just give you the, oh yeah, that won't work. He actually knows why the shit won't work. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he does.
United that's what we are, baby. We're a tournament team. We got to bring it to these guys. They're bringing it to everything that is around. Hey, don't take them lightly. Get the guns rolling. As long as we got those guns rolling, we know where the spots are. Get the communication going. We make the moves before they make the moves, all right? On 3 team, on 3 win. 1, 2, 3, team. 1, 2, 3, win.
like this, son. This shit's sick.
What makes Planet different from all the other companies out there? They're English. Yeah, they don't talk like us. I mean, honestly, I'll have like a 45-minute conversation with Jacko on the phone, and I won't understand anything he would have said. I mean, I'll be like, what the hell did he say? I mean, like, he said, like, this thing's getting pear-shaped fast, and I, grab my dictionary, open it up, and pear's like a piece of fruit, and I was like, so this thing's getting fruity fast? Does that mean it's getting gay, or I don't really know. In addition to being English, they're based on the East Coast, so you got East Coast English. It's challenging. If you have any like concerns with their company or whatever, call me, talk to me, because I know some of the English dialect now, and I can probably translate for you. If not, emails are great because you can understand most of what they write, even though you can't understand what they speak. Other than that, Planet it's a really good company to be involved with. They come out with new products like t-shirts, sweatshirts, that kind of stuff, like every 2 or 3 weeks. So every 2 or 3 weeks, we should get a box of stuff, shows up, and we got new stuff, and that's really cool. Nothing sucks more than trying to find a sponsor's stuff. Like, I want to wear your stuff, but he won't send it to me, so I don't have anything to wear. With Eclipse, you're always inundated with lots of cool stuff. I said previously that their event support is the best, and it is by far the best. I mean, those guys will go to your field, fix your gun for you, and get you back in the game. When other guys, you got to go wait in line to get your gun, fixed eventually, and they're just jackasses about it. I think the Ego is the best, or right up there with all the best guns in the world. So when you have the best gun in the world, you have the best tech support, and you got lots of cool trinkets, then it's a pretty good company to be involved with. They're a small company. I think they're still growing, and I think it's just going to get better and better. At least I hope it's going to get better and better. I'm going to get an interpreter, someone here in the United States from the West Coast that speaks English and then speaks East Coast English. And then I think that's going to help both of our relationships. But other than that, I don't think I could ask for anything more, except for maybe more money.
This is the beginning of Impact. The kids, when we first started playing, were 10 years old, and we've been playing for the last 5 years. And basically what's happened is we've worked our way up. We started in Div 2 last year, decided to make that semi-pro bracket last year, see how we could do. We ended up qualifying for this year's semi-pro. This year we competed. We brought in Josh Davies, Danny Miller, Anthony Fayazai from Legacy, and we just really came together as a team. Justin Cornell out of Calgary is our front snake guy. Zach and Josh are back corners. Zane's our middle guy. We call him Buzz now. He loves to go in and just take those guys out of the snake. We're really excited about next year. Making the pro bracket this year was a real battle. Some real fights come right down to the end here with what happened at this event. But going pro now, we're all Canadian. It's an all-Canadian team, sponsored by Badlands and Eclipse last year. We're looking forward to next year and just giving her all we can. Next year is going to be a real tough year. For us, big learning curves. We've had a lot this year, and I think next year we're going to have some success.
Hey, right here. Yeah. Yes. Good job. That's it. That's what we do.
I met some people along the way. Some of them spit, some of them stay. Some of them want some more goodbye. Gotta be friends, I love till I die. From all these people I chat to learn. Some of them shine, some of them burn. Some of them rise, some of them fall. For good or bad, I've known them all.
My name is Ian Parsons. My alias is Jacko.
And my real name is Anthony Ledbetter, but everybody calls me Leds, even my family.
I'm Jack Wood, Head of Technical Developments at Planet Eclipse. I was actually working in the paintball store that Julian Leds bought, came as part of the furniture and fittings as it were.
We live our life in our own way. Never really listen to what they say. The kind of faith that doesn't fade away. We are the true believers. We are the true believers.
At the time I was working for another company. They had a little incentive thing called the 1% improvements, and they wanted all their employees to make an improvement of 1% of their job, and then that would make the company so much better. And when every time you did one, they didn't give you any praise or any rewards, so I decided to start my own company, and every time I did make an improvement, it'd be something that I'd enjoy and I'd benefit from as well. I started paintball in '86. I was 16 when I first played, and I started Planet Eclipse, or Paintball Planet as it was called when we started. I was 21, so that would be, what would be, 81? No, 91. 1991, I was 21.
Well, it's one of those things that just the right thing to do at the right time. We'd talked about it for many years and always wanted to do it, never had the finances to do it properly the way we really wanted to do it. Off the back of the E-Blade, the company's name was on such a high that it just made sense.
We decided to look at making our own gun because you've got someone as talented as Jack sat in fixing other people's guns. I mean, we started off quite small, customising markers that were already on the market. And making them run better than they would ever run before. It got to the stage where we said, well, we can probably do this better.
I think the biggest comment I got from dealers was, why is it taking you so long? Why has Planet taken so long to bring a gun out? Well, it's taken us so long because we wanted to get it absolutely right, and I feel we have got that.
It's not just Jack, there's two people who produce them, and they're a great team. There's a guy called Steve Monks, or Flash. He's our electronics expert. I've played with him paintball for years and years on Banzai's, and he still plays now. And then there's Jack, who's the engineer. And again, we play the same team as each other. And once you get those two guys together, they know what they want to create, and they've used all the other guns and they found what the problems are, and they're players. They're not people who sat in a lab and creating a marker because this is how it should be. They know that you have, you just come off the field, you've just been beat, you're destroyed, you've got paint all over you, and your gun's not working. They know what that feels like, and they know how to fix those problems. So everything they did from the base down was for the player. They wanted to make a marker that was easy to fix, easy to maintain, and shoot faster and then faster and faster and faster. The hesitation to launch a market, the first one you've ever done, is, is it going to work? You can test things in your R&D and on the secretly, when you're training and things, but is it really going to work? You're going to come to Huntington Beach. Is the thing going to work? Is it going to break down and just give you all these nightmares? So yeah, I think every single thing you do in the business, you have to really calculate it. And you take risks, and people who take risks, usually the people who succeed or die horribly, one or the other. Fashion conscious.
A poser. Definite poser.
Came out last night with some sort of knitted wool jumper wrapped around his neck, and I went, where the hell are you going?
Always wants the label on the back of his clothes, more than me.
Jack used to be in a band playing bass, and the band was called Axe Slayer, which I think is quite a bad name. And I think he only did one gig ever, and that was at some church hall. And I think it was like 10 people were there, like his mum, his sister, his granny, and his dad or something. And that's like about it. That was his musical career finished. Warrior.
He's the ninja.
He's probably the only black man I know with absolutely no rhythm whatsoever. He can't dance, save his life. So you'll never see him dancing unless he's really, really drunk.
When he first joined, well, got to know me and Leds playing with the Banzais, and he came from Predators. And there's the rumours going around that he could break your arm and wrap it around your neck and strangle you with it. And that kind of stuff, when we were young kids at the time, it scared you.
Oh, that's dangerous. About Leds that not many people know.
He used to shit himself really bad playing paintball. Physically empty his guts into his pants in the middle of a game. It's disgusting.
Well, Leds is such an outgoing person and wears his heart on his sleeve. I think everybody knows everything there is about him, but if there was a side to Leds that people don't know, it would be that he's a very sensitive person at heart, and he has a lot of feelings about a lot of things.
I won't tell you anything about Julian. He's my boss.
Julian's our deep thinker, and he does all the thinking for us, or a lot of the thinking for us. So he's our Buddha.
Julian, he's quite an impulsive guy, and likes the open air. And Miami come out of a bar one day, and we're all walking down the front on South Beach, and takes off his clothes, goes for a swim. All signs everywhere, no swimming, sharks. He doesn't care, straight in, no problem.
Everybody has their moment. Everybody, there's not a single person in that place who hasn't been unconscious, had to be dragged back to a hotel room, puked on themselves, wet themselves. They're all as bad as each other. The biggest drinker, that's Leds, without a shadow of a doubt. Can't call him the biggest drunk because he can hold his beer so well.
Biggest drinker of planet? Probably, maybe Leds, maybe me, or maybe Leds and me when we get together.
Well, if you've asked everybody else that question, they've probably all said me. Yeah, probably me, yeah. There's probably no dinner on it, actually. Most of the pro players that ask me for free stuff, I just send a Jacko. Just go and see Jacko, don't bother me.
In recent years, it's got to be some of the XSV guys, but I think Avalanche could be catching up, definitely. I'm not going to name too many names there.
Dave Baines, before we sponsored him, probably. I mean, the guy, he can't help himself.
We're dedicated to paintball. We used to have a saying in Planet, which one game, one love, one planet.
It's really just it's a front for my chili obsession.
They were a company of stand-up guys.
It just means that all day long I can search for all different types of chilies and have them imported from my US office to the UK.
And we want to produce the best products for the top players all over the world.
We can't get chili in the UK, it's pathetic. I mean, you can get it, but you can't get it like you can get it here. I mean, you have stores on the street here and there's like thousands of different bottles of chili. I walk in, I go, I'm in heaven.
And we're a global company, and we want to be represented, and we want the global paintball world to have our products.
Tabasco is about the hottest you're going to get. You know, you've got to have the Tabasco, man. Little holster, just in case.
That every single person that works in the company plays paintball. Everybody cares about the product, they care about what the people think about the product, and that's what drives us forward.
T-shirts, designs, you know, it's easy to put a print on a T-shirt. You know, these have got appliques on them and embroidery, metal badges, things like that, and it's just the extra little things that I think the customer appreciates and certainly wants. You know, if you're going to spend your money, you might as well spend your money on something that's good.
There time we had so little, but we thought it was so much. There was a time we had no control, and we lost all touch. So much emotion, so many days passed, so many things we thought would last, and everything it seemed so big, so much invested in the past. We're still dreaming, we're still believing, no longer looking for the new thing, no longer looking for the new thing.
How did I start playing? Very, very badly. Yeah, the first game I played was in the States, in New York. Turned up at a paintball tournament, for some reason just pulled off on a road and there was a paintball tournament. Spoke to some geezer called Jerry Braun and ended up 5 minutes later with a box of paint in my hand, playing for some team, some top guys from, I think they were from the Bronx, some really nice lads who sort of let us play on a team. Gave me a gun, gassed it up, and it leaked, and I hadn't got the faintest idea what to do with it. I'd never played in my life, and it was just, there you go, you need to start. Stuck a pair of goggles on, and we went out for the first game. I think I ran out about 200 yards, got shot to pieces, and just stood there, had no idea what to do. And that pretty much was my first ever experience of paintball, and it just got worse and worse ever since. I've never got any better.
Just like everybody else, we were in the pub one night drinking, and it seemed like a good idea at the time, so we went and played, and never looked back. Started at Campaign 5 years ago. Not every moment. The weekends are quite good when everyone goes home.
I'm not really sure about that. I don't remember the night, so could possibly have been that. Drunken conversation, like most good things start, I guess. You know, we were playing paintball and getting into the scene, and we really wanted to get a bit more involved in paintball itself and just live the life, really. I think we started Planet with the idea of wanting to just get the gear we wanted and we thought was good and provide that for everybody there. And it was a real good scene. It was a fantastic scene in Manchester at the time, and we were playing for the Banzais and just living paintball literally 24/7, so it's a dream job. All we had to do was lean on the counter for 5 days, play paintball for 2 days, and then make it back in for the next 5. I mean, you couldn't get a better life. That's why we started Planet. Real lazy bastards, really. Oh shit, we're going broke. Defining moment that made us make our own gun. I think we'd done the E-Blade and we'd enjoyed doing that and had really good success with that. We just want to develop stuff, you know, so you've got an urge, you've got a desire to build and create things. As a company, that's what we do. And I think what made us have to do it, well, not have to do it, because we're not money men. We didn't start with loads of cash, and everything has to be considered, and we really have to work hard at this stuff. And we wanted to make a good gun. So we started with the E-Blade, and then we moved to the Ego. And what made us move, I think, was when War Games decided to sell themselves to Brass Eagle. And our sort of great relationship with War Games was obviously going to come to an end, and we needed to get out there and prove ourselves and prove that Eclipse can make good stuff. That's it.
For me, the biggest thing was players will put up with so much crap that gets sold to them, and they just expect the gun to break down all the time. Now, I think it's ridiculous. I think that manufacturers have a duty to provide the best equipment that they can, and there's just so much rubbish out there on the market. It's sad. And my initial reaction was probably hell. My private life now goes out the window 7 days a week for the next 10 years.
How important is the European scene to Planet? Well, it's a world scene. To us, there's no European scene, American scene. It's a world scene, and each part of that scene is brilliant. You know, we just want paintball to expand and, you know, be the world. We take it all and try and improve everything as best we can for every player around the world. That's it.
Campaign is very important to us. It's something that we've been doing for many, many years. A lot of us played on Banzai, Team Banzai, and we used to marshal Campaign, eat pizza and drink beer and just have a really good laugh down here.
We've always played the Campaign Cup ever since, back in the day in the woods, you know, with Neil Squires, and it's just brilliant. It's always been a good laugh, and I think for us this year, coming back in with the top team, you know, the Operation Sandbag has been the best laugh. I mean, just to come here, chill out, play paintball, and just enjoy ourselves. It's just got to be done. Oh my God! Right, how long we got on this tape? The overall philosophy of Planet is very, very simple. We just want to make the best gear we can for players. That's it. We've been playing ever since I can remember, and the only thing we ever wanted to do, well, really, I mean, it isn't really a business. It was a hobby. You know, this is a hobby that's grown. You know, and the philosophy of Planet is to do the best we can for players. That's it. Sounds cheesy, I know, but what the hell else? You know, what can you do? It ain't about making money. You got to make money. If you don't make money, you don't keep going. But that's the evil in the world, isn't it? You know, the philosophy is to make the gear, get it out there, get it right for everyone, have some fun, and have some more fun. Hopefully survive.
I used to work for the converting industry, and we used to manufacture machines that made paper bags.
Shipped off to the YA. Threw your life into a great big mess, but you could kill it. It's a tale of increasing woe. You know how the story goes. I'm the kid of the soul asking why. What's a shine in your mother's eyes? Feel the Death Star make her cry. When will you ever learn? When will you ever learn? From Sophie to Walpole, you went from small to bigger crime. Hanging out with cross-colors, crews promoted till full time. Kept it step up to red by pulling those old up jobs. Now you find yourself locked up with C-junction knobs. The B-boy is locked down in the cave. Probably not part of the big plan. Does he understand? It's a tale of increasing woe. You know
So you need to say something like, do that again and say, welcome to the Campaign Cup, and bound to get onto the thing then. Go, do it again. Go on. No, go on. Hi, my name's Leds from Planet Eclipse. We're here at the Orlando in Florida for the 2006 World Cup, and I'm about to show you some secret Eclipse stuff, so come with me. Basically, it's the full range of equipment for the 2006 season. A little bit of a blowout on some of the products because we've got some new 07 lines coming out, which I'll secretly show you in a minute. Okay. We've also launched this weekend the new Ego 7, so if you come with me, we'll show you the secret stuff. Say hello to the guys. Say hello, guys. Woo! Okay, here we are in our secret lair. This is the Planet Eclipse 07 range, some samples, some prototype things, and a few new and exciting products to show you. So have a look around. We've got some pretty sexy mannequins here. We've got this Nikki Cuba lookalike. We've got real hair. We've paid a lot of money for stuff like this. He's wearing our 2007 Distortion jersey in olive and Distortion pants. This is new, some new lines we've got, some new cut, padded elbow pads, got all one-piece knee section. This is for the children's line, a little bit shorter. Okay, we've got a Thomas Taylor lookalike. He's sporting the blue, again with the 2007 pants. He's also got on our gauntlet gloves, which is, this is new for this season. It's basically a fingerless glove held together in the middle. It's a gauntlet style. It's a pro player glove. No hard surfaces on the front. Pretty sexy. As you can see, we've got the different colour E-Tech jerseys there. Those are pretty much production, so they're due out anytime soon. And then we've got another beautiful mannequin here just to show that we're doing XL and above range. We've got it's there you go. Rich Telfer lookalike from Captain of Excessive. Again, he's wearing the 2007 stuff. Got a lot of t-shirts this season, and all sorts of different colours and designs. This is like a new baller hoodie for this season. People liked it 2 years ago when we did it, so we've brought it completely up to date. Really hard. I think this is going to be a big seller. Handbags for Jack Wood, just to make him happy. New rucksacks, a lot bigger than last season's. People wanted a bigger hole to be able to carry their gear in, down on the field. So we've incorporated that. And for all the cool kids, you can put your skateboards in there.
This is a new E-Tech Ego from Eclipse. They just gave this to me. So it's green, there's some black bits, there's a bit that moves here. All right, clicks, so I think there's a micro switch inside. Some good lights on the back. Look, red, feed neck, a bowl, a pokey thing, a twiddly knob. That looks good. This is a simplified version in terms of internals, but it still has the performance, or very close to the performance of the Ego. Simplified the electronics, so it's a lot more user-friendly. There's not so many parameters to adjust. This is very much a pick up, turn on and shoot marker. Very easy for the customers to use. If they want to make some small changes, they can do it all via the grip frame and the trigger. But it's not to the point where you can adjust each and every little aspect. Obviously, the inline reg, LPR is all very similar to the Ego in terms of internals, but we just changed the looks just to make it slightly different. Body's slightly simpler looking, yet still kind of some smooth, sleek curves. 3 basic colors we're doing it in. This color scheme's jungle, which is the olive and black. We do urban, which is grey and black, and we do night, which is all black.
Hi guys, I'm Jack Wood.
And I'm Steve Monks, also known as Flash.
We're basically a design team that work at Planet Eclipse. We're responsible for bringing you products like the E-Blade, the Ego 05, 06, and this year, our latest creation, the Ego 7. Do you want to tell them a bit about the features? Do you want to start with the electronics?
We've started with one of the biggest bugbears, which is the optical switch. An awful lot of people don't like the optical switch. So what we've done with this is we've fitted a micro switch and an optical switch for those people that do like the optical switch. So you can see that you can set up the gun to run on the micro switch or the optical switch, and this is all selectable via software. We've introduced roller bearings either side of the trigger. The trigger has very little slop, and basically if you can't set this trigger up the way you like it, then there's something seriously wrong.
As standard on our, like I keep saying, on our now basic standard product, we've incorporated a 2-piece next generation shaft barrel. So it's 2-piece with a 6.9 3 back, a 14-inch overall length. There's a clamping feed, a standard on the top. So no more having to require an Allen key for clamping your loader. Just simply open up the lever, stick your loader in and clamp it down. We're also incorporated a swivel regulator as standard because people like the hose to come out of different places on the regulator, so now this swivels as standard. We have new on-off assembly, on-off and purge system. So as you turn off the knob to degas the gun, it releases all the gas out of the gun, making it safe to remove the tank. No chance of blowing O-rings on your preset system. At the back here, this is one of the biggest changes we've made this year, is how drastically we've reduced the weight of the gun. This gun, this standard 07, is now 8 ounces lighter than the old 06. New 3D milling is standard this year. We've gone to quite a lot of effort to remove as much waste as possible, waste material between the bores, but still keep it really stylish with nice flowing lines up through the gun. Obviously the 07 this year, we've kept the LCD. The LCD is very popular. It makes the adjustment of all the multiple parameters very simple and straightforward. You don't have to count numbers of flashes or listen to beeps on a board. You literally just input the number that you want straight in there using these 3 buttons on the back of the grip here. You can cycle up and down and enter using that. About the way people play now, they're throwing themselves down much harder, diving harder, particularly into things like the Snake and the 50s. So we wanted to build an extra bit of robustness into the design. So we've incorporated a new T-rail design for the on-off assembly. We've got rid of the old dovetail fitting and replaced it with this nice squared off T, which means it won't try and rip off the bottom of the gun as soon as you dive into the Snake. Just a bit of extra functionality and strength that we've added to this year's design.
And as far as shooting modes are concerned, it's basically got everything that the popular Maniac board has got. So you can have uncapped ramping and all of the things that people like.
Okay, so as a final treat now, we're going to go out and shoot this. To make things even a bit more interesting, got one of the new pulse loaders from Draxus. So we're going to fit that on there. We actually have the RF transmitter built into this gun, so we're going to use this probably for the first time on video with an RF moded pulse loader. So we'll go and shoot it now.
Okay, now that's really, really fast.